Ladies and gentlemen, how y'all doing out there? Sorry about that. I can barely hear what's going on. How's everybody doing? Good morning. I'm feeling good. How you doing, Chocolate Girl?
Hi, everybody. Hey, Dennis. The Chocolate Girl is here. Chocolate Girl is feeling great. It's a wonderful Saturday, my favorite day of the week. Hope everybody can hear me well. I'm glad to be awake, glad to be alive. Praise God, from whom all blessings flow. That's what I'm rocking with today. Nothing but positivity in my house. Nothing but positivity. Leave the negativity at the door.
Right at the door. We don't
right at the door.
We don't need none of that negativity. Leave it all at the door.
No, sir. At the door. At the door.
How was your week?
I've actually had a week of introspection. It's good to have those kind of weeks where you can look at yourself and see what you've done well and praise yourself, and then see where your opportunities are and make a plan to overcome those opportunities. It's just been a really great week of self-reflection and introspection, and I'm excited. It makes me excited for the rest of the year, the second half of the year. You know, June, the greatest month in the whole calendar year, just went out. So, you know, starting in July, that's the second half of the year. Got to get it popping, finish strong.
Some people would say.
I know you think August is. I know. You're supposed to think your birthday month is the greatest month, but, you know, hey, it's June. Ain't nothing wrong with June. June is the greatest month of the year.
Well, I mean, you can say that. You can say that. What I think about August is not really that it's the greatest month of the year. What I think about August is that there's only one holiday in August.
What holiday is that? What is that, Dennis? Tell us all. Tell the people.
August 12th is the only holiday in August. It's the only one.
What's the name of that holiday?
It's Dennis Appreciation Day.
Oh, is it every Dennis or just one particular Dennis?
There's only one. There's only one. One of one. Let me just say that. One of one. Dennis Appreciation Day. That's the day that is. Yeah. But my week was good. You know, we went down to go see. Well, my fault. We went down to go be on the show with Off the Top Sports. Met June B. Got to meet the engineer. You know, they got a nice spot down there.
And where is it at? Where is it?
Newark, New Jersey. That's where we were at.
Newark. Shout out to Newark.
Newark, New Jersey. Out there by East Orange.
I heard Newark's on the come up.
I guess.
Newark is the only place in New Jersey I've ever been, because I flew into the Newark airport when I went to visit my friend in Long Island long time ago. We flew into Newark. We didn't fly into LaGuardia or any other New York airport. We flew into Newark. And so I saw about this much of Newark before I got on the LIE to go to her house.
Okay.
For y'all don't know what LIE is, that's a Long Island Expressway. But anyway, so yeah, that was years ago. That was back when I was in college. The only place in New York I've ever been, Long Island. Never made Manhattan or anything.
All right. Well, I can understand that. Well, now we've had some I'm gonna say big internet news. I said this has went so viral that we've had, you know, a dad's side, mom's side, an uncle's side, an auntie's side, a grandpa's side, a grandma's side, you know.
Really?
Everybody out there, yes. The comments,
wow.
The explanations, the real man's man, some of y'all butthurt, you know, all types of stuff has been said about this viral video of this guy bringing McDonald's for his child and not for the other kids that are there. And his child's mother getting upset that he didn't feed the other kids that were there, and she threw the McDonald's on the floor.
Well, hold up. Is that why you named today's episode Feed Them Kids?
Feed them kids.
I like it. I like it. Feed them kids. For those of you watching, this is season 2, episode 2. Feed them kids.
Feed them kids. So then she recently came back on and went live and gave her explanation on why she was upset that he didn't feed them kids. When she came back on, for me to break it down to y'all, if y'all want to see the whole video, please DM me, I'll give it to you. But when she came back on, she was saying that he has the youngest child out of the 4, and he was around and he used to feed the kids, but now that we broke up, he pick and choose when he want to feed all the kids, but he makes sure he feed his own. That's what she was saying there. What do you feel about the situation?
Well, first, I think that she tried it. I think she thought about it and thought of reasons that she could give after the fact because she was under so much scrutiny. I don't believe that was her motivation when she was doing that live and catching him, like she said, because I'm catching you. I don't think that was on her mind about the fact that her 3 other kids were used to him. Because being used to him, bringing them food, what does that say about their own daddies? What the other daddies, what were they doing? Were they also bringing those kids food too? So they're getting, kids from all the food from all the daddies. It's just too many unanswered questions about that. That's one. Number 2, if you're dating a person and you know that they have children, yes, when you're dating, you're going to look out for their kids. And also if you have kids together. But once y'all break up, the obligation to her other kids ends. The only obligation is with the kids you share. Now, the good natured thing to do would be for the guy to continue feeding all 4 of the children. I get that. But if he my thing is about the expectation. That's my issue. If he chooses not to do that, he's not a deadbeat. He's not wrong. I don't even think he's petty. I think what he's doing is he's making sure to take care and fulfill his obligation to his child, and that she needs to hold the other fathers accountable for the other 3. And I believe that's what his thoughts are. I don't believe he meant any ill will towards the children. And I just do not feel like he is obligated to give those other children food too. It would be nice if he would. It would be appropriate if he did. It wouldn't be out of pocket or anything, especially if he knows that the other fathers are deadbeats. Why not? If you're tricking and you got it, or not if you're tricking, but if you got it, why not? But if he doesn't have it and he's paying child support plus bringing food, if he's doing all of that, you can't get mad at him. That's just the way I look at it. I mean, we have it hard enough as it is, women. We have it hard enough as it is. After we have a child with somebody and you break up, the whole co-parenting thing, that whole situation can be tentative. It can be very dicey anyway. Wouldn't you say, Dennis?
Yes.
It could be dicey. So you have all that dynamic to deal with first. And this is something else. These children are impressionable. The one thing I look myself in the mirror every day and I'm most proud of about raising my son as a single mom is that I never once downgraded his father in front of him, no matter what our issues were, no matter what he didn't give me or didn't give the child, our son, or whatever he didn't. I never held that in front and center and talked down on his dad to him or where he could hear me. Never. And he will tell you that if he was standing behind me. It's just bad to do that. Let children have their own relationship as long as it's not harmful. Like, he's not a pedophile or crazy axe murderer trying to kill people. Let them have their own relationship with that father. You don't do that. And by her doing this and going viral, you think those children are not going to find out about this, even though they're young? They could be sitting up getting their hair braided and somebody mentioned it in the shop. Anything. It's just not a good look. The whole thing is a mess to me. That's how I feel about it. I think that she could have handled it a lot better. Also, she needs to be more creative, but I'll talk about that in a minute. How do you feel about it? Because I don't want to go on too long.
Okay. Shout out to Cassidy Irvin. Thank you, Cassidy Irvin, for the stars. Irwin. I'm sorry, Irwin. Cassidy Irwin. And AB, shout out to AB being heavy in the comments. Shout out to Jonathan Benton. You know, everybody that's watching, thank y'all very much.
Good morning.
Here's what I got to say about what I call the McDonald's backlash. First thing that I seen out of all of that is they got to become better co-parents. Obviously,
yes,
obviously there's a big issue there. They need to become better co-parents. Then what you can't do as co-parents is go back and dib and dab. What I mean by that is you can't be having sex with them and then go back and saying, no, we ain't in no relationship, and then go back to all this boo love and having sex. You get mixed emotions, and this is what happens.
Good morning.
This is exactly what happens. So but that's the number one thing that you can't do. Number two, if I'm pretty sure if y'all co-parenting was better, y'all would have communication. And the issue that you have that you couldn't, you didn't have enough money left, so you spent all your food stamps, could have been easily resolved, because I could see somebody making that mistake. Like, they spent all their food stamps, the kids came home, school's out like June 16th. I'm pretty sure that might have happened maybe June 24th, went viral on the 27th. Then you had your backlash on the 30th. Today's the 2nd. With all that being said, sounds like you need help feeding the kids. So then you communicate, I need help feeding the kids. Don't just say, hey, your son is here, he needs something to eat. That's exactly what he's going to do. You have to make sure you communicate that whole situation. I need help feeding the kids. The money I messed up on money, because people make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Right. Mistakes happen. I messed up on the money. Need some help feeding the kids. He wouldn't have took that $15, $20 to go get that McDonald's. He probably would have took a good $50, tried to see what he could get together and get you some food. That'll last you till your food. Well, I don't know if it's going to last you your food stamps get there, but that'll help you out. Let me say that. That's those things. Now, what I've seen out the video, I do truly believe that they're still having sex, dipping and dabbing. I do believe that they're going to need, like I said, to get that co-parent and get some help. And, some people will say he ain't wrong. Some people say he is wrong. At the end of the day, if you come by to feed your son, feed the kids and just leave. Everybody like, oh, he could have bought some pizza. I ain't in the rush to say go buy some pizza. I ain't in that rush. I'm
Why not?
Also in the rush to say.
Why not? Why are you not in the rush to say go buy?
It's only one meal.
Oh, okay, I see.
It's only one meal. But if you go by there and you actually send lunch meat, bread, cheese, mayonnaise, mustard, however they like it, whatever. They got that to eat.
Right. In other words, send her food, bring her food, a bag of groceries, and then she can feed whoever she can feed from those groceries. Exactly. Nobody is singled out, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. And that's kind of where I'm headed with it. Instead of stopping to buy. But see, this is another thing. We don't know, and it's not obvious from the original video, if he's just stopping by on his lunch hour in the middle of the day or something like that, and he only has a limited, amount of time, or what the circumstances are surrounding this visit. But it sounds like a planned visit because she was waiting for him to come, and she talks about how he always does. So this is something that happens often, where he comes to bring food, and when he brings it for only his child. So that's the one thing that we don't know. So I'm going to say this. Both of them need to plan and be creative with their plan. And here's what I mean. On the man's side, yes, I agree with you. The idea about buying the groceries and lunch meat, bread, all that stuff, so she can cook up something and feed them all. I agree with that. That's his creativity. Instead of spending $7 on a Happy Meal from McDonald's or whatever he got, it was in a bag, so it wasn't a Happy Meal. He got him a
One
real
Happy
grown
Meal.
folks,
Yeah.
real grown folks meal. He is, instead of spending that $7 or $8 on that, he could spend $15 and get a bag of groceries and feed them for the week. Now, I know $15 doesn't feed 5 people for the week. I get that. But what I'm saying is it contributes to their grocery budget, and he can supplement whatever she's got, and she can feed those children and herself, even if she wants to, for the rest of the week. During lunchtime, I'm saying, for lunch. Maybe not dinner, but lunch. The second thing, she needs to be creative. If she knows she is dealing with a guy who really sincerely feels like he should only bring food for his child, then what she should be responsible enough to do, rather than just focusing on him and what he's not doing, she needs to be creative to solve the issue, to protect the other 3 kids' feelings. And by that, I mean, maybe she could either call the other fathers if they're available. We don't know. We don't know where those fathers are. They might be locked up or dead. We don't know. But she should either be creative that way or somehow getting money from somewhere else or food from somewhere else so she can cook their food and serve them all at the same time. Something like that. Or tell him, instead of bringing a combo from McDonald's, why don't you go buy the 6 and 6 taco pack with 6 hard tacos, 6 soft tacos from Taco Bell? Just bring that. And then she could, spread that out amongst all the kids. Be creative in it. You're not going to change him. But see, her focus is on him. That's the reason why I think I agree with you. You were talking about this is not even about the kids. You think it's about something else. What do you think it's about, Dennis?
Yeah, I think it's because they want to have, listen, they're still in love with it. Here's the theory I've been saying for years, and a couple of people just been laughing, been like, no, I mean, I've seen this since I was about 12 years old. Usually when someone has, multiple children, the youngest child and whoever that one that they had a baby with, that's usually the one they're in love with. So they usually go through the most BS out of all of the baby mamas or baby fathers, whoever's in the situation. I notice that it goes both ways. It ain't just a baby mama drama. Sometimes it's a baby father drama as well. But usually it's the youngest child. Whoever they have that last child with, they're usually in love with. So they'll go through all that with them. I can bet you everything I have that those other kids' fathers don't go through none of this. They don't go through none of this.
I think you're probably right. If they're even around. Right. See? Yeah. I mean, you got to be creative. I don't like to get, I find myself always giving personal stories. I don't really want to always give personal stories, but I remember there was a period of time when I thought things could have been handled better than they were being handled between me and my co-parenting ex-boyfriend. Mm-hmm. Rather than focusing on what he was or was not doing, I just found a solution and handled my business. That's what you're supposed to do as a single mom. This is something else I want to talk about. I watched that video, the follow-up video, where we actually got a chance to see who this woman is. Did you notice anything about her in the video?
No, I noticed she was in the car.
She had a fresh weave and perfectly placed fake eyelashes, which are not cheap. So if you have fake eyelashes and weave down to here, which costs hundreds of dollars, because her weave was not the obviously fake kind. It was pretty good. I would call it a mid-level weave. It wasn't the high end that looks really like her hair weave. You could tell it's a weave, but it wasn't that cheap weave, like I call it basket weave looking hair. It wasn't that. So she had a mid-level. So she paid $2 or $3, anywhere between $100 and $300 for that hair to have it done and put in and all that. And then she's got the lashes. Lashes can be like $50 or more. It depends on if you have them put on by somebody or you put them on. So we have to be careful of how we spend our money when we have children. And she's got 4 in this economy.
I'm not going to sit here 100% and say.
I'm not going to say that she can't get her hair. That's not my message. What I am saying is you have to be creative in how you spent your money. I remember there were years I permed my own hair, and I don't have not an inch of hair talent. I remember there was some years I did my own perms, put my own perm in, and I only went to the hairdresser to get it in between, wash and cut when I needed a trim, because I can't cut my hair, but I learned how to put a perm in safely and took care of my own hair. It was less expensive. I did what I had to do to take care and feed my child. Because at that time, his dad was not around for reasons, and I had to do what I had to do as a mom. That's your first priority. Not worrying about what they're doing or not doing. It's how you're going to get it done. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that she shouldn't get a weave or she shouldn't get her eyelashes on. I'm not saying that. If you look at your budget and you have a choice between the $300 weave and $100 lashes and feeding your child when your food stamps are done, which one are you going to choose? I mean, that's all I'm saying. I'm not knocking that. We have to look good as women. It's part of it. It helps us in the workplace and everything. When our hair isn't done and we look a mess, that's a problem. It hurts us. And men can have their hair doing whatever, but women can't. It's held against us. So I get it. I get the importance of having your hair done. I get it. But do you have to have the $350 weave and lashes? That's all I'm saying.
I hear you. I'm with you.
Mm-hmm. Just be creative and be careful.
I know some girls that are real creative. That might have been last month's wig, and those might have been the eyelashes off the windowsill. That's what they do. They go to sleep. They put eyelashes on the windowsill. You wake up, you wake up, you think you got 1,000 legs on your window. So I'm just going to say that I've seen it. I've seen a lot.
I can't even comment because I know nothing about that.
I've seen a lot.
I just don't know anything about that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I've seen a lot with this hair situation. But let me get to the comments. John DeBenton is in the building. He said, "Good morning, everyone." AB is in here heavy. He woke up good this morning. He said she said she made it up. Check her TikTok. So I don't know who to believe. She gave me crackhead vibes. She looked like a fish from the bottom of the sea. That meal looked light as hell. Like I said, one burger and a big ass drink. Talking about can eat in the car. F out of here. No, we heard you. Tricking. Mofos be doing anything to be on the internet. Tricking. And Cassidy said, if she wants the other man's babies to eat, she should have let their fathers feed them as well. If she wants the other man's kids to eat, she should have let them fathers pay for their food. I'm with you on that. I don't believe those fathers even got a phone call about their kids need to eat. I really don't. With inflation, everyone getting one slice of meat on their sandwich. It's so bad out here.
He was talking about you. He was talking about you when you said buy the groceries.
BJ said hello, it's sunny outside, or he high as shit.
No, he's saying it's sunny, and he's saying it's sunny in the house. Yeah, talking about your glasses.
Oh, man. Maybe Sharon Orr is blind and dentist. Maybe. Carson said, "What up, family?" Carlos is in the building. That's what you're supposed to do as an adult. I noticed she was cross-eyed. AB said weave. BJ said, I didn't see the second video. Cassidy put the video in the comments. But to her credit, she should have definitely bought the kids food too. Okay. It's not his job. It's not his job, but no. It's not his job, but no. But
But
speaking
speaking,
from a moral point of view, the kids should be able to eat McDonald's too. All we do as people is check their backgrounds before doing videos. Them blinds in that kitchen was tore up from the flow up. I think this is more of a skit. Juke, what up, Juke? I don't know. I think the whole thing that she's saying it was yeah, I am struggling to read today. I think the whole thing that she said that it was made up is because she ain't like the backlash she was getting.
yeah, well, I think she was bothered by the backlash. I think she was surprised. I think she thought that everybody would be on her side. She really believes that she's right, and she's entitled to her point of view, just like people thought I was wrong when I said that the man should pay all the rent in a relationship. She has to understand if she feels how she feels and she chooses to share with the world, everybody's not going to agree with her. So you have to, in the words of Raymond Green, stand on it. So if you either going to stand on what you said and how you feel, or you're not. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah. Juke said, where this damn Gritty? Dennis Holmes, aka P. Diddy. All this dancing around the actual Gritty you doing.
I'm waiting on the Gritty. I'm still waiting. We're all still waiting. Juke.
He definitely was sipping. Yeah, she got roasted bad.
Mm-hmm.
No, I've been up since I got home from work. She definitely has a right to be dumb as fuck. What the hell?
Yes,
I forgot this is Los. This is Carlos. I'll be forgetting. Some chick Carlos.
Carlson.
But yeah, again, I'd like to thank y'all for being in the comments. We do have a letter to the side John. We have a letter to the side John today. As a matter of fact, we got two letters to the side John. I'm lying. We got two letters to the side John today. Now this one right here, I'm just gonna read it. When I first read it, I thought I was tripping, but I'm just gonna read it. All right.
Okay.
Dear Side John, tonight I was in Lowe's and a child walks up on me and asks me for help. I'm kind of shocked because he came right up to me and asked me for cash for food. This kid was about 10 years old. When I said I didn't have cash, he asked me if I had cash at. I asked him where was his parents. He said that they were at the hotel. I asked him if he was alone, and he said he was with his sister. I asked him if he was in any kind of trouble. He said no. I told him that he should not be asking strangers for money because it wasn't safe. But what I'm really concerned about is why his parents would be sending a 10-year-old into a store to beg for money. What would you do if this happened to you? It's just not normal for parents to be sending their children to ask for money from strangers, is it? I know that times are hard. I know that people are struggling, and it's about to get a whole lot worse for poor and struggling families. What you think, Chocolate?
That's a real concern. I would be concerned too if he was a 10-year-old, like around 10 years old, and he's out here begging for money in a Lowe's. I would find security, because usually they have one, and try to have security contact the authorities to come and take care of this child. Because, and let me tell you why. I'm not a Karen or anything, but what I'm saying is people now are different about their children and the way you handle children. Back in my day, it would have been okay for if you found a child like that, if you took them and got them something to eat and took them home, contact the police, did whatever. You can't do that now. You can barely touch a child because someone would be quick to try to turn the tables on you. So rather than me putting my personal self in jeopardy and without totally disregarding the welfare of the child, and since I love children, I'm always constantly worried about children, I would contact security or the management team or somebody to contact the authorities to have them come see about this child and see if they need some help. That's what I would do.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I would be going to get a hot dog or something. I would be getting them some food.
I'm not calling 911, but I'm
in Lowe's though. No, I'm not saying necessarily calling 911.
No, somebody said that in the comments.
Oh, okay. I'm saying the authorities, like, it doesn't have to be the police. Maybe it could be social services or somebody. It could be somebody, an advocate, something, a church, anything, and have somebody bring this child some food and try to take care of them till they can find their parents and maybe help their parents. That would be the best thing I could do.
Yeah. I've noticed this happens a lot. Like I don't like seeing kids ask for money on the street, crossway, or at the light when they ask for money for like I would say sporting events or cheerleading, football, basketball. I don't like seeing that because I feel as though our government should be funding these kids so they can go ahead and do those activities. That's how I feel. Now, that don't mean it's going to happen, but I don't like to see them, at these lights, highways, asking for money, going from car to car, got a possibility of getting hit. I don't like seeing that. Now, kids ask for money all the time, but this kid right here was a little bit like too extra determined. He asked for cash. You want to have cash? He said, "You got cash at?" And you're a little bit too extra determined to get this money. And it's sad out here, but I don't think you should be putting your child out there to go get money. You as a parent should be going out there to make sure that the family has money.
Right.
You as a parent sometimes got to take a job at McDonald's just to make sure your family can eat.
Mm-hmm.
You don't put the kid out there to make sure that the family, you got to go out there to go make sure the family can eat. The kids should never be out there asking for money. That's how I feel.
Yeah. So would you go feed them? Or would you call somebody?
No, I would have fed them. I would have fed them if I had it. I'd have
feed them, but I would also call somebody.
Yeah.
I'd have to do both.
At the end of the day, feed them kids. I think I'm calling their parents. I'm having a conversation with their parents
to see if they need help or something. But see, I'm also afraid of people. People send kids out. People are twisted. They'll send kids out to lure you to the hotel and then knock you on the head and rob you.
I ain't going to the hotel. You're gonna meet
That's
me.
This is what I'm saying.
Me at this restaurant. You're gonna meet me at this restaurant because I'm gonna have your kid come in, call from the restaurant while we at the restaurant. You're gonna meet me at this restaurant.
That's fine, but it does happen. They try it.
Yeah.
But if I see somebody, begging for change, standing at the street light begging for change, I do give them money sometimes. It's a feeling for me. I have to have the right feeling. If I look at them and I don't get that vibe, then I don't give them any money. But I do that sometimes.
No, I mean, I still gave them the money, but I just feel as though they shouldn't be out there asking for money. They shouldn't be out there through those hot ass temperatures out there with a bucket asking for money for the drill team, the football team, the cheerleading squad. Shouldn't be happening. And it's a couple of football teams that's in Philadelphia that's actually doing real good. And I still seen them years ago out there asking for money. And I took one of them, because I knew one of them, the coaches. I took them to the side. I said, "How is it that y'all need money? Y'all got all these trophies and championships. How y'all need money? Y'all been booming since I was a young boy. How is it that y'all need money?" That's what I'm trying to figure out. Y'all go to a tournament, y'all win it, and I've heard people say that y'all getting money when y'all win these tournaments, in Florida and in Virginia. How is it that y'all need money? Like, well, we need money to travel. How is it that y'all don't have a bus by now? Then that's when they came to me and they told me somebody in the organization was stealing. It's crazy. And it's a cold, cold world we live out here. And at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, feed them kids. Let's just get that out of the way. Feed them kids.
That's right.
Thank you for sending the letter to the side, John. We have another one, though. You got the other one, Sharon?
I sure do. All right. Dear Side Joan. Hey, and listen, folks, in the comments, if you guys got some situations you need help with, send us these letters. Just inbox the Side Jawn group page and we'll read it and answer your questions. Dear Side Jawn, I am divorced and remarried. My ex-husband has remarried as well. So this is the woman speaking, I guess. We have one child together. Both our families now are blended families. So I guess their new spouses also have children by someone else. My ex-husband got a new job and the court sent me a letter saying there will be a hearing to increase the $69 a month child support I was getting. My new husband and I are financially doing very well, and we really don't need an increase. They put need in all caps, so I guess they mean emphasizing need. We really don't need an increase. So when I went to court, that's what I told the judge. But no, they were really trying to insist that they increase what I get. I have to tell them 11 times we do not need it. I brought my new husband's affidavit and tax returns and everything. We are good with the $69. And if anything big comes up, we discuss it and my ex contributes. That works for us. And I don't see why the court was trying to insist on increasing it. I think I'm right about this. Do I let them increase it, keep fighting to keep it the same, or do I keep it at $69 since I really don't need it? Oh, do I let them increase or do I keep it at $69 since I really don't need it? I think I'm going to keep it at $69. No need to try to punish him or anything. That's the letter. Okay. What you think? Your thoughts, Dennis?
Sound like you have an issue with the court on this child support situation. I feel as though if your communication is that well, then eliminate the child support. That way you ain't got to worry about going to the court, missing days of work, going back and forth with them with what you want or will do, bring your paperwork down there. Just eliminate it all. If y'all at a great communication of co-parenting situation, and the way you talking, it sounds like it's good communication of co-parenting going on. You said when you call him and you need something, he gives it to you. Y'all make enough money that y'all are okay. All you need him to do is take care of his child. Sounds like he's been doing it from what you wrote in the letter. You said he contributes. So if that's the case, go ahead to the court and just expunge it.
But in the meantime, before they expunge it, you think she should try to keep fighting to keep it at 69 or let them go ahead and increase it?
Why you gotta keep going to the court and keep fighting?
No, fighting for them not to increase it.
Ain't no need for them to, if that's the case, if you fighting and if you got to keep going to court to fighting for them to stop increasing it, you may as well just disperse. Please disperse. Yeah. Save your
okay. Okay. That's interesting.
Because I know there's a lot of people out there that don't want everybody in their business. They don't want the government in their business. Let me say it like that. You know, what they doing in their household is what's going on in their household. They don't need the government in their business. And obviously, you can make a phone call and say, hey, your baby needs such and such, and he comes by, he give you the money, or he probably cash app you. However he get it to you, it gets to you, and you accept it. If that's the case, don't need to go through none of that.
True. All right. Are they commenting? Let me see. BJ said, child support only harass you when the other party is harassing them. Someone has to go down there and start that process. They ain't telling the whole truth.
That might be child support where they at. I know child support in different states is different.
Yeah, I'm about to say that because in Ohio, they actually do their due diligence and they keep track of your income by your tax records. And if they notice an increase in your income and you had not reported within a certain amount of time, you started that new increase, then they actually bring you back to court. Anything that's off kilter, they will bring you back. They will initiate it. That's how it is in Ohio. I can't say here or there where he is and be more. And Joshua Bailey said, document everything. And AB said, well, give me the $69. Well, I'm gonna tell you what I think. I think if the court, I don't think that what she's saying is that she would have to keep going back to fight Dennis. I think there was a hearing, and this is what they're trying to do, and they're trying to increase it. And usually the way I've seen child support work, you have the initial hearing, and then you come back and you have the hearing where the decision is made. At least that's how it's done here in Durham County. I've seen that. Now, so so let's just assume they don't have to keep going back. Let's just say they had this one hearing and they're going to have one more. Let's just assume that. I think if they seriously do not want an increase, and if an increase is going to be a hardship on the ex-spouse, that they should say, listen, this is what we've agreed on. With all due respect to the court, this is what we want to stay with. Some judges will look at that as being responsible parents and honor that and not insist on it. Some judges won't. So my thing is, okay, since you are really, truly okay with just $69, you could do one of two things. If if more than $69 is truly a hardship on the other parent to pay, more than 69, when they take it out of his check or he pays it or whatever, you send it back to the guy. How hard is that? You can Cash App it. You don't even have to write a check. Send it back. Anything over 69, send it back to him. Nobody will know.
Just delete the court. That's too much work. Delete the court.
I know no, it's work to delete the court. I'm saying if they're going to keep it this way, I'm not saying that deleting the court is not an option. I'm just answering the question with the assumption they're not going to do that, is what I'm saying. I'm just trying to give them an answer to work with. If they're not going to delete the whole procedure, the whole proceeding, the whole file, and say, hey, we want to just withdraw the whole thing, then since they have it on record and they're going to increase it, give that difference back to them. That's one thing they could do. Second thing is, if you really don't need it, put it in a trust fund for the child for college. Save it for college. Whatever you want to do. But if they're not gonna honor your request to leave it at $69, that's what I would do. If I'm not gonna just dismiss the whole thing, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
If they're not gonna do what you said, I know for me, what I would do is if it's not a hardship to him, I would just okay, court, go ahead and do it. And then every month when I get it, I send him back the difference and keep it moving. And I think none of it, if that's, truly the issue.
Okay. All right.
Because see, once the debt is paid, what y'all do with that money is none of their business or concern. It's really not.
Yeah, that's why I said I'd just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Anyway, here on the side, do you have any final thoughts?
You mean final? Are we not gonna read the other letter?
We read both letters.
Oh, that was it? I thought we had a third letter. I'm sorry.
All right, that was both letters.
Oh, quick show today. Quick show. Okay. All right. Well, I have some final thoughts. A lot of times when sticky situations occur, things go down. And things are not always what they seem. Sometimes you could be in a position to overhear comments without the benefit of seeing expressions or seeing what's going on around the person. You might be on the phone listening to what's happening, and you think you can tell what's going on. And then later on, someone tells you a story about what happened, and you'll be thinking, oh, well, yeah, I heard that. So, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. But you still may not have the real story about what's happening. That can happen. So I just ask people, when you're trying to find out what happens in situations, any type of situation, work situation, family, relationships, make sure you get all sides of the story before you reach a final conclusion, because you may not know what you think you know. Things might seem a certain way based on a person's history or what they always do. They say a broke clock is right twice a day. A broke clock twice a day is right. Even a person who behaves badly sometimes can have shining moments where they're not behaving badly in the situation and they're actually the innocent one or the hero of the situation. You can't always go by what's happened in the past and say, oh, well, yeah, I know this person was the instigator, or I know this person was the one causing drama. Yeah, I know this person. You know what I'm saying? Get everybody's side of the story before you draw your final conclusions. Don't assume, because you know what assuming leads to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what assuming, we already know it. I ain't even gonna say it. But just be fair. Get the whole story first before you jump to conclusions. That's all. Because you could be drawing a conclusion that is totally false. Act on that conclusion towards the person and be just wrong. And then what? That other person's hurt by you for no reason. So get it all first, because it's too late. That's one. Two, be careful what you say. Words hurt, and you can't unhurt. A person can choose to get over those words, but you can't unhurt once you say those words. Can't unhurt it, can't unring a bell. It's already rung. Got it? Just watch what you say. And three, stop being passive aggressive. If you have a problem with someone, go to them and tell them and talk about it. Stop saying, well, it's no point in talking about it, or nothing else needs to be said. If you care about the person, you're going to talk about your issue with them. If you don't care, then keep it moving and don't talk about it. But stop being passive aggressive. I can't stand that. I don't deal well with passive aggressive people. You got a problem with me, I did something you don't like, or I said something, or you thought I behaved badly, you need to tell me. I may not even realize what I did. Love me enough to tell me. I want to know. Just be honest. So that's it, Dennis. What's your final thoughts for the day?
One thing I've learned in my lifetime is that, one of the best relationships I think I have is with me and my daughter's mother. We have learned to be better co-parenting through the years. It didn't start off this way. It started off okay, then it went to bad. Now it's real good. And I know there's a lot of people out there who having issues with the child support system and got a bitter baby mom and all that. Do what you can to fix the situation with co-parenting so y'all could do better with the child or children. Let me say that. Do what you can, because it's a lot of back and forth bittering, and the comments that went on these two videos are really terrible. You got people out there who are saying, I ain't got to do nothing. She should have gave me my child so he could have ate in the car. I ain't got to feed them kids. F them kids. I know I say F them kids, but I say F them kids when the kids do something that's F them kids worthy. Let me get that out the way. I don't say F them kids on something that had nothing to do with the kids. Usually it's the kids do something worthy. Like if I went out and got all the kids McDonald's and the kids said, oh, we don't eat McDonald's, we eat Chick-fil-A, then fuck them kids. I ain't got to hear no shit like that. I fed you. Damn about what you do with them. I fed you. What I look like, a short order cooking? Get you what you want. Did you eat? That's all that matters. Now,
that's all that matters.
That's me on F them kids. How I feel about all that back and forth, back talking and all that, and how y'all, so ungrateful kids. Yes, that's me on F them kids. But it's never F them kids to the point that they had nothing to do. That's why I always say feed them kids. That's the F them kids. Feed them kids. They gotta eat. They're innocent. They didn't do anything in the situation. But her putting it on the internet and him sitting there responding, everybody got a phone now. So you going to school with these kids and it's on TikTok, they like, oh, that was your mom. So where your dad at to give you McDonald's? That's all they gonna say when they get to school. That was your mom on there acting a fool. His dad got him McDonald's, so y'all ain't allowed to eat McDonald's. That's all you did. You made all of that bad for the kids. But you don't see that because all you want to do is, oh no, he's bad. No, it's not about that. And it's not about him. It's about y'all two getting better as co-parenting.
That's right.
These videos should have told you co-parenting needs to be taken way seriously, and communication on co-parenting needs to be way better. It takes a village. That's a true story that it takes a village. There's no handbook to parenting. Those are just
right. You're right. I hear you on that, Dennis. That's what Jay Jones said.
Yeah, he also said that the kids, the mother was using the kids to hurt you and separate yourself at that point. That's when you need to go to the court. If you tried all you could to be a co-parent with that parent that ain't working, then take it to the court. I'm with taking it to the court because sometimes they have to, you got to go get your rights. Don't be scared to go to court. I was scared to go to court. I didn't like court. I didn't like being there. I don't like the way I was treated. I don't like the way they come at you as soon as you walk through the door like you're a criminal. I ain't like none of it at all. I'm here to get my parenting rights. Meanwhile, it looked like y'all think about locking me up. No, I'm cool. Couldn't stand it. Still don't mess with the court to this day. That's why I still say dirty Jersey, because of the child support system in Jersey. I ain't have a $175 fee. I had a $25 fee, and I had to miss a day of work to go down there to fill out the paperwork for $25. And the lady told me when I got finished filling out the paperwork, I said, well, how long I gotta wait for the person to come and review my paperwork so we can sit down and have a talk about our court date? She said, it depends. Because we stop taking paperwork anytime during the day. I said, say what? She was like, yeah, we start at 9, but we can stop taking paperwork at 10 o'clock. Sharon, I'm telling you, it's a reason, Sharon, I'm telling you, that New Jersey child support system, them walkers is something else. They might have changed since then, but them walkers is something else, boy. Them walkers made me want to fight.
Wow. That must have been bad because you don't usually get angry like that. You're not an angry person.
Nah, because that's and people know what they're doing. They know how to get on your bad side. Because anything else they did to you, they couldn't hurt you. So they know what to do to get on your bad side.
Got you.
Yeah. BJ said he had to pay twice. She got me smoking out the window. Shout out to Josh Bailey in here.
See Moss.
Yeah, he said, I'm sorry, my child's mother. We are mature now. That's what's up. Sometimes you got to go through some things, to realize that y'all are better as co-parents when y'all just communicate and not having sex. Do not have sex. Do not do it. You're not going to get nothing. Do not have sex. You're not going to get nothing out of it.
What do I always say? Communication is key.
Communication is key.
Communication is key in any relationship. Communication is key.
Yeah. But like I said, thank y'all for coming out today. God bless. Great day.
Bye, everybody.